Hey guys, welcome back to part 8. Alright, so I'm just continuing the touch-up phase. It's pretty much where we left off. Just using the Chaos Black to, again, go over any of the spots that I might have overbrushed or gotten any of the dry brushing onto. It's important to be careful in this phase because you can, of course, create more problems for yourself if you're not careful. Like I said in the last video, I can be at this all night if I'm, not careful. So, like I said, sometimes you just have to tell yourself to stop. It's okay. You're not going to get everything, and unless you want to be painting that figure for, Golden Demon, you can pretty much just let some things go. Of course, I'm not saying that this is anywhere near Golden Demon quality, but I think it's sufficient for tabletop quality. I don't usually do the hard-lined highlights. I see those, and I think they look good on the tabletop, especially from a distance. I don't like how they look up close, of course, but they do look pretty dynamic from a distance. So. Anyway, now I've moved on to the bleach bone. I'm going to close up the Chaos Black here. That's the only thing I don't like about the Citadel paints is the pots they come in. I wish they put them in dropper bottles. That way you could really control how much paint you use. I know you can use a palette, kind of helps save your paint, but sometimes I find that I'm wasting more on the palette or I'm spending so much time transferring paint from the pot to the palette that, I don't know, maybe I'm just being lazy. But anyway, here I'm trying to cover up that spot, the dark spot. Problem with a black spot on the bleach bone is that it's so dark, you'll have a hard time getting it to cover. So what I'm doing here is just adding light coats of bleach bone and trying to feather it so that it doesn't clump up where I'm doing the covering. Sorry about taking the figure off camera. I'm kind of getting into it, and sometimes you lose focus when you're really trying to, I should say I'm focusing on something else rather than keeping it in the camera. I'm trying to make sure that I don't clump the paint. So it looks like it covered over pretty well. I don't see any other real bad spots. Maybe one or two little things that I can go over. Maybe just add a little more to that spot. And I'm just waiting for it to dry. You don't want to try to put too much on when it's still wet. So I've been looking at a lot of videos lately, and I see New Econ is back and showing us his gray orcs. I think those are pretty cool. Only thing I would change about them, if anything, is I think VBlog had said it too. They just look too clean. They don't look orky. Excellent paint job. I think he didn't give himself enough credit. He does really great work. Only thing I would do is, put some nicks and dings and add some dirt to them, so they look a little more orky. But really great stuff. So anyway, now that I'm done with the highlighting, the next phase is Devlin mud. I'm going to take the wash and basically add some weathering to the shoulder pads so they don't look so bright and shiny. So I just want to make it look like a little dirt's accumulated around the edges of the armor. If I have some figures that I kind of want it to look like they were on an extended campaign where their armor is chipped, the paint's chipped, and You know, they've got unrepaired bullet wounds and or bullet holes in the armor, and you know, like some of the ones that have come back from the warp. You know, so I like to add a little extra detail to those. Like I said, I'm just applying that, washing, trying to coax it into the spots where I want. One thing I don't like about the new Citadel wash is that it has a tendency at the edge to kind of leave a little bit of a residue. So what I'm doing here is trying to get rid of that, trying to fade it into the rest of the pad. Sometimes what I'll do is just put the wash on the entire pad, and then kind of take my finger and just brush across the top of it, and that's what I'm doing there. And it kind of pulls that clumpy stuff away. So anyway, other videos I've been watching, Bootleg's had, of course, the Ask Bootleg series, which is hilarious. Some kind of heavy issues sometimes he gets on there, which is to be expected, of course. But I don't know that I could give out advice. I think that's something that's specifically Bootleg. His stories and his advice, they kill me. I mean, it's great stuff. I think he should have his own TV show. I'd watch it. But let's see what other videos I've been watching. Jawbo Balls, he's got some good stuff. I really like his how-to paint videos. I think that's one of the reasons why I probably didn't do this one for so long is, you know, I kind of figured, well, he's kind of done a really good job on that, so I don't know how much more I could add to it, but I guess really what I'm showing is my painting style. I mean, his paint style, at least for the demo video, seems to be, you know, how to get your army on the table pretty quickly with a good tabletop quality. You know, he's not, at least not for the video purposes, he's not spending a terrible amount of time, you know, going back and cleaning up and doing all the detail stuff. I mean, he shows you how to get a good quality figure in a decent amount of time, you know, so you don't burn yourself out trying to paint, you know, 100 figures with a ton of detail and stuff like that. But I think he gives great advice on, you know, his brushes, using the washes, moving the paint around. Like, one of the things that's really cool, he doesn't water his paint down, he just takes it right out of the pot and just kind of pushes it around, you know, going back and getting paint out of the recesses and just spreading it around. I've never had a great deal of luck with that. Mine usually end up looking terrible, so I've always watered my paint down and kind of done it like Nataku. I try to do it in washes, you know, little thin coats. Now this, it's like they reformulated this paint, so it has a lot more coverage than it used to, so even watered down, I really don't have to do more than 1 or 2 coats. Usually 1 is sufficient. But anyway, so I'm trying to think what else. Nataku, I just watched his Blood Bowl video, his commission for the Blood Bowl. Now that was really cool. Anyway, back to what I'm doing in the video here. I'm actually painting the eyes now, and what I'm doing is first I'll lay down a dark green, and then after the dark green I'll get a light green, like that fluorescent green. I think it's called moth green, and I'll put that toward the front of the eye, and then over the moth green I'll actually put yellow, and then if I really want it to be bright, I'll put just a drop of white at the center of the at the center of the yellow. And the object is, at least for me, to get an eye that looks like it's glowing, you know, as opposed to just doing the regular lens. To me, it just seems to be more aggressive. Anyway, I'm running out of time, guys, so I'll have to finish up in the next video. I appreciate you guys watching. Alright, thanks.